Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to another Pokemon Masters video, and we got Marnie Morpeko's details, right? Again, shoutouts to Crash for the info, right? And this is pretty good. It's pretty good, right? So let's go over these, and also now instead of like throwing them in like two images, I just squeeze them in one. I'm saving paper and woods and trees, but not really. But anyways, let's get into this. So Marnie and Morpeko. It's electro type tech, so obviously it changes from hangry to full belly mode, and it starts out as full belly, right? So there's that. So again, electric tech week to bug. It is coming on the 26th, so dropping the same day as Leon, right? Leon's a Master Fair, and then Marnie's the regular Poke Fair. Poke Fairs are now regular, folks. The special one's called Master Fair. Anyways, so Marnie Morpeko. So in terms of stats, right? 620 HP, which is really good. 338 attack, which is solid. 170 defense and special defense, not the best there, right? And then 318 special attack, and then 367 speed, which is a lot of speed. So good HP, right? Solid attack, special attack, all that stuff, and good speed, and not the best defense, special defenses, but Marnie is more like of a damage dealer kind of tech, so I guess the defenses don't really matter that much, right? So, anyways, getting into the moves. So Thundershock, 17 base power, obviously 1 bar, 100% accuracy, not a huge damaging move, right? 10% chance to paralyze a target, which is cool. And then you got Power Trip, which is the dark physical version of stored power. So as soon as you see that, you know this thing's going to be incredibly powerful. Unfortunately, Power Trip you can't get buffed by Psychic Terrain, but it's still going to be very powerful, right? I mean, you guys saw how good Musharna was. Just take away the Psychic Terrain and then you got Power Trip here, right? Aura Wheel, Electric Physical, 80 BP. So relatively low on BP for a 3-gauge move. And then 100% accuracy, 3 bars, single target, and it's electric type in full belly mode and dark type in hangry mode, obviously. And then +1 speed every time you use it. And you could use that speed to convert into some attack if you use your training move called Snack Time, 2 MP on yourself. And then if your speed has been raised, it also raises the attack by the same amount, and then gradually heals in full belly mode. And then you get +1 crit in hangry mode. If you're wondering, well, how do you switch from hangry to full belly? Well, you use your sync move. So the sync move, hangry wild charge, 200 BP, electric physical. Forgot to write that. Whoops. When the electric or dark type physical, right? Anyways, yeah. So when you're in hangry mode, change to full belly mode, and then vice versa. If you're in full belly mode, change you to hangry mode, right? Afterwards. And then the power is increased if the target is paralyzed, so that's the regular 2 times multiplier for tech units, right? And then if you look at the passives, you got Mood Swing, which powers up your electric type moves in full belly mode and powers up your dark type moves in hangry mode. So getting this thing into hangry mode and then spamming Power Trip is going to be very powerful. So we don't know how much this boosts it by. If it boosts it by 50%, then it's basically like you have like Psychic Terrain, right? Which is insane. So again, we don't know how much it boosts it by. It could be 30%, 10%, 50%. I highly doubt it's gonna go over 50% because that's sort of usually the limit right over there. But we'll see, right? And obviously your Aura Wheel could do a bit more damage too. So even though low BP move, but with the extra boost on full belly or hangry mode, that could actually do some solid damage as well if you don't want a Power Trip. But you really want a Power Trip, trust me. At least if you're facing like dark type enemies. If you're using like facing electric type enemies, then I guess Aura Wheel, whatever, right? So, it's a really interesting kit, right? Obviously, Aura Wheel to increase your speed, and then afterwards you use Snack Time, and then, use Snack Time twice, and then that's +6 attack, right? With +3 speed. And then if you're in hangry mode, you also get some crit as well. So that's really, really nice because you could use like first 3 turns aura wheeling, and then you could sync, get into hangry mode, and then, double train move, and then you get +2 crit as well, right? So you're getting a really decent amount of stats to throw into your like power trips, right? Again, it does take a while to set up, unless you have like, if you're running like something like a Swana or something else that buffs your speed as well, then obviously that's much faster, right? You could just aura wheel to begin with, and Swana, use the trainer move bunch, and then use your trainer move, then you got, you max out your attack easily, right? Or like a Sabrina, which is even better because you could get crit, so you don't even have to wait till you sync to get crit, right? So Sabrina, obviously, again, reflect with pep rally, that's +4 speed, or wheel twice, then 1 snack time, right? With the extra crit that Sabrina gives you, boom, you got a max max physical attack, max crit sync there. I don't have the opponent paralyzed yet though, unless you're running like another paralyzer, which you don't really have to worry about because you have hostile environment 5 on the Thundershock, which does give you a really, really good chance of paralyzing the opponent, right? To again help out your damage over there and all that stuff. So Marnie Morpeko is pretty insane. Again, depending on how much the mood swing is, right? This could be like on par with Musharna in terms of damage and all that, right? And also you got the really great chance to paralyze as well. And we're not even done here because we got so many multipliers in the sync grid, which we'll talk about, right? So let me open the sync grid. All right, it's over here. Let me also fly myself to the other side of the screen so you guys can see the thing, right? So all right, let me just double check the sync move while I'm also here, right? I guess we don't know if it changes. I mean, I'm pretty sure it changes to dark type. I mean, actually, well, it is wild charge though. Maybe it doesn't change type. Yeah, it's not Aurora Wheel, it's wild charge, so I guess it's still electric. Anyways, moving on. So the sync grid, obviously for a few cells, stat buffs, anything interesting, or wheel power ups. These are +3 for 4 costs. Can't get paralyzed, cool, I guess, but you're not gonna get targeted most of the time by paralysis moves. Anyways, move gauge refresh 3 on Aura Wheel, which is nice. Ramming speed on Aura Wheel, so like you could legitimately like do some solid damage on Aura Wheel, even though it's only like a 80 base power move. You got ramming speed on there, which using Aura Wheel is just consistently going to boost your speed anyways. And if you run it on Electric Terrain with Morpeko's passive that boosts the damage and while you're in full belly mode, right? That you could do some serious like electric type damage with that, right? So moving on, you got Thundershock, move gauge refresh 4, which is cool. Staggering 2, so you have a 30% chance to flinch on top of your chance to paralyze there as well, right? With hostile environment 5. Snack time super preparation 4 has a good chance, or 50% chance of applying the super effective up next effect to the user when the move is successful. That's the one N has, right? So 50% if you use your training move, your next move will get a power up, right? Or super effective move. Then got inertia to add to your sync nuke, right? To your already added sync nuke. Speedy entry if you want that, I guess. In some certain scenarios, like if there's like some time trial, then it could be useful, but otherwise, generally don't really need that. Snack time MP refresh 2 only, unfortunately. However, don't worry, it's not an issue. Propulsion 4, 50% chance of or decreasing your sync move countdown by 1 for 10 energy. No. MP Rekindle 2, moderate chance of restoring 1 MP for the user when the user's Pokemon uses move. So 30% chance of restoring MP. So yeah, you just like straight up, like if you pick this up, you straight up don't need to pick up the MP refresh. So you could use like snack time. If you run out of gradual heals, you could try to trigger this and get snack time back and then get more gradual heals. Or if you don't want to bring like a crit buffer, you could try to attack with this and then get that back, so you get +3 crit on top of getting gradual heals as well, right? So this is pretty good, right? All right, moving on. More power trip power ups, haste. Another or not another. Move gauge refresh 2 on power trip. Static shock 3, further increase your sync move damage, right? And there we go. There's sync move power ups. So yeah, right. With your synchro, you do get a bunch of multipliers, so that it makes like Aura Wheel actually like viable option. So it's not just a dark type damage dealer; it's also electric type. So, yeah, this is very good. It's a very powerful sync pair, in my opinion. It's kind of like Musharna, but you also have solid like electric type coverage, right? And if you are like trying to buff Morpeko to like just go for like incredible like power trip damage, right? Just sort of like Musharna. You don't really need to use your sync move. Just like sync until they're hangry, and then you just don't have to sync again. Just use someone else's sync, because that's what like Musharna does. Because Musharna stored power just does so much damage, right? So Marnie this thing's crazy. Plus, you also get all the speed buffs, and you're really quick as well. Plus, only a 2 gauge move, so you have like a lot of liberty in terms of building your team comp, because you basically could like max out your attack and crit by yourself, right? So like you have a lot of liberties in terms of building your team. Like if you want to throw in like Volkner, if you're just trying to do like Aura Wheel damage, right? Electric type Aura Wheel damage. Or if you're like running power trip, you could just bring like another unit that just omega buffs like a bunch of stats, so you just could get your power trip damage as high as possible. Or bring in like a Nanu or Kukui to decrease your opponent's defense, deal even more damage, right? So yeah, this thing is pretty nuts. This thing is really good. So yeah, anyways, cool. Can't wait to try her out. So anyways, that's me for this one, I guess. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me guys in the comments down below. Like and enjoy this video. Subscribe to the channel for some more Opponent Masters content. Turn on notifications too, because we will be going over all of these throughout the night. So get them as soon as possible. And probably going to go over Leon next. So stay tuned for that. That's our master Sync Bear Scout thing, right?